Hi everybody, Annie here with Quiz Cookery. So recently I was watching an anime where I saw a pastry that looked just like this and I just had to have it. Like, you know how anime food always looks amazing? Yes, so I actually created this strawberry custard cream pastry that turned out phenomenal. It's so crispy, so good. Even my husband and sister-in-law who had it said that it was the best pastry or dessert that I have ever made them. And it's actually quite simple to make. So let me show you how I recreated this. So you're going to need a tablespoon of vanilla extract, as well as 5 egg yolks, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, a cup and a half of whole milk, a 4 teaspoon of salt, half a cup of sugar. I also used a packet of vanilla sugar, a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, some sliced strawberries, and 1 package of puff pastry. As for the puff pastry, I do have a recipe that I will link below on my channel where you can make homemade puff pastry that turns out amazing, or you can just buy the store-bought puff pastry, make your life a bit easier. It works just as well. As usual, all the ingredients will be listed in my description box, so go ahead and wipe down your puff pastry with some egg wash, which is just 1 egg and a tablespoon of milk, and I cut mine into 4 squares. I suck at cutting straight, so I did have to have a few attempts, but go ahead and do it as best as you can into 4 little squares and try to get them as even as you possibly can. Also, make sure your puff pastry is thawed to room temperature. Then I'm going to fold the squares in half this way to make a triangle and press down the edges to ensure sealing the puff pastry. So this way they won't crack open while they're baking. So I brush them with egg wash on both ends one more time, and we're going to place this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes and let it cool and set them aside while we start working on our custard. The custard is the most delicious part. So you're going to combine your cornstarch, your sugar, salt, as well as your egg yolks and your vanilla sugar, and go ahead and beat this until it becomes lighter in color. So as you start mixing it, you're going to see it gradually gets lighter and lighter, and the texture will get thinner and thinner. So you'll see in just a second the texture that we're going for. So once it looks like this, you've done it correctly. It becomes like a soft serve texture and this exact color. So go ahead and set this mixture aside. We're going to come back to it. So on a medium flame stove top, add in your milk as well as your vanilla extract and whisk continuously so you don't burn the milk. Once you start to see little bubbles form on the side of your pan and it steams up nice, that's when you know you're done. So just take it off of the heat and gradually start adding it a little bit at a time to your custard mixture from earlier. Super important that you only add a little bit at a time and whisk quickly, just because you don't want to shock the egg yolks and end up cooking them into scrambled eggs. So take your time with this part, but make sure you mix quickly. So go back on your stove with the same pot from earlier on a low flame, add in your mixture that we just made, and we're going to whisk this and mix it very fast. You have to move quickly here, guys, because you don't want it to burn. So you'll see it starts to form clumps at the bottom, and it's going to start to thicken into a really nice batter. So keep mixing it, keep mixing. This process took me about 3 to 5 minutes or so. Take it off of the heat. So make sure it's off of the heat and then add your butter. So go ahead and keep whisking this until you get this smooth texture here. So now we're going to go back into our cooled pastries from earlier, and I like to cut them in half but not all the way. So you'll see exactly what I'm doing here. And open them up and get your custard. I put it in a piping bag just to make my life easier. Cut the tip off, and I did a little zigzag motion just like this into the pastry. Grab your sliced strawberries and assemble them however you want. This is the final step. I filled mine up, and this is what they look like. I garnished with some powdered sugar, and I did end up putting some strawberry leaves in there just for decoration, but try to take them out before you eat them. And this is how they turned out. They are so aesthetically pleasing, Instagram worthy, and they taste even better than they look. Like, I could eat this every single day. I really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. These videos do take me a lot of time, so please like, comment, and subscribe just to support me, and follow me on TikTok. Love you, and let me know in the comments what you want to see next.